Hi guys, welcome back to Vintology by Lola. I just wanted to quick pop in today, and I always say quick, but you know me, it always ends up being longer than quick. So it's all about Timmy, and I've done some Timmy projects, and I wanted to share them with you. Before I go into that, though, I'll let you look at these pretty things. I'll get my hands out of the way. I won't be on for a while because I am going to have major neck surgery, and I will be in the cone of shame. That's what I call it. And actually a neck collar for up to 6 weeks, probably the full 6 weeks. So with the collar, my understanding is you cannot look down. So it will be very difficult to do anything. For sure I'm not teaching for 3 weeks, but I don't know if I might be out the full 6 weeks. So I highly doubt that I will be doing much crafting, maybe towards the end of the 6 weeks. But so I won't be around for a while. So any prayers or good thoughts sent my way, I have surgery tomorrow, I would greatly appreciate it. But let's get on with the video so I can show you this stuff. So I have had inspiration from all over the place, and I decided to pull out some of my Timmy stuff and use some of the new stuff, although I can't tell you which is new and which isn't new. So let's start with this first project that was inspired by Monica Taylor, and it is a matchbook, but it's not just a matchbook. It actually holds ATC cards. So this was so fun to do, and it was really quick. I'm going to say probably 3 hours, and that includes the 5 cards inside. So it is just a matchbook that I decorated the front. I used 2 brads to hold it down, and when I open it, it has all of my cards in here. Okay, so here's the first one, here's the second one, here's the third one, here's the fourth one, here's the fifth one, and then it's just like this. Now, what is so slick though, what she did, which I love, and I'm going to show you this. Years and years and years and years ago, I bought this. I mean, we are talking probably at least 7 or 8 years ago, maybe even more. Didn't know it was Stamping Up. At the time, I was just buying tools to buy tools. Knew what this was, and love it. It's like a paper rougher-upper, but I had never used any of these other tools on it. Well, lo and behold, I finally used it. She actually showed how to use the perforator. So this actually, I can get it open, is just a teeny tiny little edge. Can you see that? Okay, so there it is. Sorry, I want to make sure it's in camera. So there it is. And it makes perforations. So each one of my cards in here, okay, let me open this again. Down here, just at the very base of my book here, my little matchbook, they're perforated. So you can, I'm not going to show you because I don't want to pull it out because it'll probably be a gift for someone, but you literally fold this back and it comes off just like a ticket. Oh my gosh. It was the cutest little thing. I'm going to be making more of these, but I wanted to make one, so I just did a prototype. Love, love, love this. If you want to see a really good tutorial, head over to Monica Taylor's site on YouTube, and she shows you step by step how to make it. But it's pretty, I'm not going to say that it's not, let's see. The only challenge, sorry guys, I got a lot on my mind today. The only challenge I had was making sure that this line didn't cover up the perforation. Oh, I got a thread on there. Don't you love that? Oh, and it will not disappear. And I think that was really the only thing that you have to make sure of. Otherwise, everything else went together lickety-split. So that was a really, really fun project. I highly recommend that, especially because lately I haven't felt like making full books. I've just been doing like little projects. So there's that. Okay. Then I headed over to, let's see, I wrote her name down, Victorian Dreams. And she had these really cute, and she actually has a whole tutorial on how to make these cute little file folio kind of traveler's notebook kind of pseudo scrapbooky things. I don't even know what to call them. So consequently, I said, you know what, I'm on a Tim roll, let's do it. So I used his memorandum paper, and then I used his airmail paper, which is an old pad. So this one, I'll show you this one really quick. I used, this is all obviously file folder. I used his charms. I used the scribe pin, the memories, artful, and a little key, and I even did his little doohickey that you hang stuff off of. And I only say doohickey because I don't know what they're called. I thought they were called hitch post fasteners, but I'm not positive. Then I decorated the front with a whole bunch of his ephemera, and since it was memorandum, I did all of the pieces from like the junk drawer and stuff. So it was the rubber stamps, the paint, the pen. I took one of his new flare pins, and I took a cardboard piece that said shift, and then I also did this piece of chipboard from his junk drawer. This is tied together with a piece of seam binding. Oh no, sorry, silk. And I loved it because it had 3 pieces together for this one. So it's brown, beige, and green, which was perfect with the cover. So when you open it up, you open up this side, and this side has just a belly band. And inside the belly band, I did this little baby that I just fell in love with. It just looks like it's going to be a fold out, but it's actually a bag. It's just a coffee stained bag, and this Gail did on her channel, and then you attach the piece of paper on the back, and then I glued my piece of paper on the back, and then you put the fold over it. So then inside of here, there's a tag, and I just put a little doily and a butterfly on, and oh, I guess I put another one in there. You know how when you make books, you guys can't remember exactly what you put in all the pockets? I can never remember. There's a shocker. Okay, so then I decorated the outside with the actual paper because it's so nice, and they are tickets, and so I just put some tickets on there. And I have to say, I love this idea because it's another way to use up bags without just having a bag like tied, or not tied, glued down to the bottom of a page. So I loved that idea, kind of dolled it up. Then you open this up, and we do this, which is, I don't even know what you call it, a tied mock bag, because it's not really a bag. And the middle is open. Okay, so then I did flowers on this one. If I can get it open, you guys. I don't know where it's stuck. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, and then I put a little, that's why it was stuck. I put a little flower at the bottom to match. Thought that was kind of a cute little touch. And more of the yummy paper, which of course does all the talking. You really don't need to do much. And then I did this fold, and this was from Corey Damon's page, and she does all the flips, folds, and flaps. And so she did this one, which is really cute, from just a piece of paper. And I used my tape that I had done tape, made my own distress tape. And I just put that on, and then it's got 2 little pockets, and I did just tags in here. And this was another one from Corey where you just do the flip out, and I had just done it on coffee dyed paper and just stamped the heck out of it. And to put that in there, which is so cute. And then it folds, and then this is another little pocket, and this is this is probably my only piece in here that's not Tim Holtz. This is 7 Gypsies, really old, okay? And then if you wanted, you could put a pocket on the back, but I thought that was enough. And so then it just goes in here. So this is not a journal or a book that you would do a whole bunch of stuff in. I like to say that these are kind of the day in the life of, or the day of. So if you did something, it would only have, you know, the journaling of a day, pictures of a day. So you wouldn't try to do, you know, a wedding, or you wouldn't do, you know, you could probably do a family picnic, or, but I don't know if I'd do a reunion because, you know, that would be a lot of pictures. So then you flip over in this side, and this side has this pocket, and I tried to keep it kind of clean and neat, and I just put some of Timmy's embellishments in there, and I covered them all with my coffee dyed paper that I had used a doily on. So I gave that a little bit of punch there. And over here, I did his cutout that I love. I can't believe I ever lived without this pocket. That's a die that I absolutely adore. And then I did a little tag inside of a pocket. That's a die that I've had for forever. And I just dolled up an inventory tag with more of his embellishments and stuff, and stuck that in there. So the idea was to keep it very, for me, the idea was to keep it simple and to just kind of let the paper, I'll put that in later, do the talking. When you flip this over, this opens up into a trifold. How nice is that? And I just did 2 more of, I used the paper, just cut out the paper, because in his paper pads, he has journaling cards that you can, in the 12 by 12, you can cut out, and I think there's 12 journaling cards, and they're just fabulous. And so I did those, put little tabs on it, little tape on it again, and just have those in there. And then on this side, I just did another one of those flip down papers. So it just goes like this, and then it flips down so you could journal, put a little picture in there, whatever you want to do. And I love that. And then of course I love these pieces. They look like old tins. You can get that in there. But what I really liked was she incorporated a place where you could put just a little simple journal. So I had taken some of Timmy's flowers, and I had printed some, I think from Tracy Fox, I had printed out some stuff, and I printed it on muslin, and I thought that that would be cute there. And then I put a little magnet on here, and it opens up, and it's just, and when I say simple, you guys, I mean coffee dyed paper, like a little sticker there, a little washi tape. I did very little inside to this, thinking this would be just something, you know, fun for you to write your notes in. It was fun to put in here, and I love that this is removable. So if you choose that you don't want anybody to see it, or you don't want to share it, you can pull it out or replace it, whatever. And I just loved that idea. So this was really fun. Like I said, very, very simple, especially for me who loves to go over the top. So this is a, oh yeah, and then oops, and I forgot. I also put some stuff here, and then I put a little tag in there too. That was another one of his tags. I put a little doily and a button on there. More of his cardboard embellishments or chipboard embellishments. Love that. And then I just love that it's just very easy to fold and put together. I mean, it even could be something that you put in your purse, depending upon how you make it or what you use it for, right? So that's that one. And it's, oops, well, so much for that one, huh, guys? I love it when you're on camera and you have these oopses. And I don't edit my YouTube stuff, you guys, so I'll put that there. I might sew it back on. Okay, so there's that. Then here is this one, and I'll just make this brief. Same sort of thing on the sides, a few different things. I put an arrow, I put a piece of seam binding up here, and then I used blue seam binding for this one. And I really, really like the way this one turned out. The other one's fine, but I love the way the airmail one turned out. Love all his stuff. And I happen to have a very dear friend who passed away, and before she passed away, she had me go through all her stuff. So she gave me all her Tim Holtz stuff, which was very generous. So I'm trying to use it in a very mindful way. And so I used her rub-ons. I used some of the paper she had given me, some of the charms she had given me, just kind of as a tribute to her. So this is the little guy. This is the same bag, has some stuff in it. I embellished and did that, which was just so much fun. Because really, you can't go wrong. If you use all of Tim's stuff, it coordinates so well. And it even coordinates, I think, across his paper pads and his embellishments, because everything's vintage. I put this on. This is an old, he had oh, I can't remember, stickers, and there was like a charm that went with it, but I just used the bubble thing. Here's one, and I did the same thing. Here's our little thing that I don't know what to call. And I won't undo it. And then here's my cute little one. This time I did the twine around this one. And this one opens up, and then it has some stuff in it. I just don't want to keep you guys too long. And then it's got 2 little vintage tickets that I actually cut out from the paper pad and then backed with more of the coffee dyed paper. I know people are going, why do you tie and put it back together? Because to be completely honest, you guys, if I don't exactly remember where it goes. And I had it all nicey nice for filming, going, oh, this will be perfect. So I'm going to stick that back in there. Then we open up this side again, did the pockets, used just a die that made these cute little squares that are riveted, that are not riveted, but look like stamps. And then this is, I did a double pocket on this one. And I did tags, and I just did tags from the paper pad again, which are so convenient and nice. This side I did, this is an old Timmy. He used to have black cut apart plastic, so I used that. Here's another one of those little tags. I put one of his word cards in there. Then this one flips over and this one flips out. And this is the same thing. Here's the pocket. I did another one of my inventory tags. I kept them very similar, you guys. That's why I don't want to show you. This is the same thing. It flips out, flips down. These are so slick. I just love this idea. Okay. This side, I didn't do anything to. I left this blank. And then here is the journal part. I put an old stamp on there. I did another magnet. And then because I put the magnet on last, I put a stamp to cover the magnet. So that worked out pretty well. And then same thing, you guys. Kept it really, really simple. And just did a little bit of stamping, a little bit of washi tape. Oh, can you see it there? Sorry about that. You know, more stamping. Happened to have a few more stamps that were appropriate for airmail. You know, my little vintage stamp that I love of all time. And there's that. And so that closes up. So those are those. So those are those. Those are my little, I don't know what to call them. Let's say traveler's notebook / memory keeper books that were done by Victorian Dreams. Okay, and she's got a great tutorial too, so I recommend going over there and seeing hers. Now, I also want to tell you about the fact that I've been working on more snippet rolls. And this one is my Timmy snippet roll, you guys. So there's no way I'm going to get this whole thing in. So I'm just going to tell you that all of the fabric on here is from one of his collections. And I just stitched them all together and put that as my base. So everything is Timmy fabric. And then I did white muslin on the, well, it's a little bit heavier than muslin, but it's not canvasy. So I have lace to go over this that's this width that I'll do when I'm completely done. It's zigzagged. But what I want to tell you is I was watching Rachel over on Rachel's Super Cute Creations, and she told me, or not me, yeah, she personally said, Lola, here it is. These are the greatest invention. They are easy thread needles, and I am going to put it up super close, and you can see that up in here there's a slit. So all you do is drop your thread, pull it down on top of it, and your needle is thread, and it doesn't come out. Well, for those of us who are a little older, who don't have the best eyes, this is almost as great as the invention of coffee. That says a lot. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought a 3-pack because Soology was on sale. So I'm going to say it was like maybe $2. I have them in my cart for a different one. They're called self-threading needles. And I want to say it's like $3.50 for 48 of them. But it is so worth it, you guys. If you do any stitching or you ever need to thread a needle, these are your go-to. I was so excited to find out about these. I've told everyone I know about them. So now I'm telling you guys, run to the store and buy them. Self-threading or easy threading needles, okay? And they are perfect for stitching on snippet rolls. So let's get to the Timmy snippet roll. So I started out with a little Timmy pin. I don't know if this is actually a Timmy button or not. Then I stitched on some ruffled trim. I did some French knots. This is from a vintage doily. I cut out the center. This is a Timmy charm, and then it's a vintage lady, and then I put these little buggers on it, and I don't know if that's Timmy or not. Timmy fabric, little Timmy pins, Timmy bow, more stitching over here with little X's, one of his word bars, encourage your hopes, not your fears, some vintage buttons that I had, mother of pearl, and what is this? Just one with the old shank and stuff. And then here I found at an antique store, I found like a small, I wouldn't even call it a placemat, but it was all made of yo-yos. So I sat one night and cut them all apart, the yo-yos, added a doily and a rose. Here is part of a doily, a silk old flower, part of Timmy's tape measure, and I stitched that down. Here's my little flower garden. Only a little bit of the garden though. One flower here. I might put another one here. I'm not sure. Old button. I stitched all this. Here's one of his garment pins and one of his little charms, a door. Another one of his numbers. I stitched that on, 63. I did 2 little pieces of lace that were just little flowers on there. I stitched on a row of beads just because I love to do that. I love putting the beads on there. Then here is his new heart charm that I put behind a piece of a pink doily that I cut apart. Here is his grading paper, and so I stitched the grid. Oops, I stitched the grid of the grades. And this is from the base of the fabric. So that came off of the bottom piece where it shows you the colors. This is one of his pins, and this is another one of his old, they're charms that you put in the sticker, and then you put the bubble glass over, the bubble plastic over it. And then I put a piece of ribbon, velvet ribbon, and did X's on there. This was just an old, this isn't really old, but it was in my stash. Just a kind of a roses gold filigree, and then I went through and did an elongated French knot stitch and X'd it in. I had this charm that had holes on both ends, so I put the little pearls in it. And here's another one of the yo-yos with a vintage flower in it. And then I found these at Hobby Lobby, the handmade. They're very thin and light. They're in the sewing department, and you get, I think you get 4 of them, and you can get them for $1 when they're 50% off because they're $1.99. And then this is the piece of doily that I cut apart too. So I have a couple things left to do on it that I want to do. Obviously I have to put the lace on the back so that it shows that it doesn't show all the work. And then I'll put it on a spool. So I'm kind of excited about that because this one turned out really cute. Now I have one other little tip or trick or purchase that I made that I want to pass on. I was watching Johnny from Junk Journal Shop, and she had suggested a sanding tool. And my son works at a hardware store here in the Twin Cities called Menards. So I asked him if he could get it. And it was actually in his department, in the paint department. And you guys, this thing is so slick. I can't even believe it. So it's called, I specifically wrote it down, the Gator Zip Micro Sanding Kit. Now, it is like foam, so it's ergonomical. You can put your finger on it like this and sand your paper or sand the edges, whatever you want to do, which I just love. I kind of like doing like a sand off sometimes, especially if you have like a glossy something and you don't want it that glossy, you can take it off. It came with this, and it is Velcro on it, and it came with all of these different pieces, and I think it's 2 grades of sandpaper. So it's like a fine and then a rough. But I don't even know. I think I got like 25 pieces, okay? Well, I looked on, before I bought it, or had my son look, I looked at Amazon. And on Amazon, it was $14.99. And I thought, okay, well, that's not bad. Well, my son went, and at his place, it was $8.89, almost 50% off. Plus, he got 10% off, so it did make it 50%. So if you're looking for a sanding tool, I used to use Timmie's sanding tool, but I couldn't find the sanding paper anymore. And then I wanted something that was easier to hold. And this one, because it's squishy, and it just kind of fits in my hand better, and it's little. So I really liked this one. So I highly recommend that. So that is all that I have for today, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you're a subscriber and you came back, thank you. I always appreciate you guys coming back and visiting me to see what I've made and what I've done. Your kindness is always appreciated. Your comments are always lovely. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful spring. My spring will be spent recovering. And, you know, if you want to drop me a note in the mail, I would love to hear from you. It would be great. If not, put a note on my YouTube channel and stuff. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what kinds of Timmy stuff you're making, okay? So until I'm done and recovered, you guys take care and be well. Thanks again for stopping. Bye-bye.